What if I told you that your bank account isn't a reflection of your intelligence, your hard work, or even your income? What if instead it's a mirror that reflects a secret story you've been telling yourself your entire life, a story you didn't even know you were writing? We live in a world that treats money as a simple equation of earning and spending, a math problem. But if it's just math, why do so many of us feel like we're failing the test? Why does financial stress feel so deeply personal, so tangled up with our sense of self-worth? The truth is, our relationship with money is rarely logical. It's emotional. It's psychological. It's governed by what financial psychologists call a money story, or a money script. An unconscious set of beliefs about wealth, worth, and what you deserve, forged in the fire of your earliest experiences. This internal narrative dictates every dollar you earn, save, or spend. It's the hidden director of your financial life. In this video, we are not going to look at spreadsheets or budgeting apps. We are going to dissect the invisible script that dictates your financial reality. We will uncover where this story comes from, how it secretly controls your biggest decisions, and by the end, we will confront the most important question of all. Can this story ever truly be rewritten? For most of us, the accepted myth about money is straightforward. It's a tool. It's a resource to be managed. The path to financial health is paved with budgets, promotions, and disciplined saving. If you're struggling, the advice is always the same. Earn more, spend less. We're told to cut back on lattes, get a side hustle, and track every penny. It's a narrative of pure logic and willpower. We see this play out everywhere. We make a budget on the first of the month, feeling a surge of control and optimism. We negotiate a raise at work, picturing the savings account finally growing. We commit to packing our lunch instead of buying it, calculating the hundreds of dollars we'll save over a year. These are the fundamental proofs of the logical approach. They make perfect sense on paper. But then, the month ends. The raise seems to have vanished into thin air. The lunch money was spent on something else. The budget lies in ruins. And we're left with a familiar, sinking feeling. If money is just math, why does our willpower always seem to fail? Why does the equation never quite balance? This is the first crack in the myth. The persistent gap between what we know we should do and what we actually do is not a failure of intelligence. It's a clue. It's a sign that another, more powerful force is at play. This is where we must introduce our analytical tool, the concept of the money script. Think of it as your financial operating system, installed in your mind before you ever earned your first dollar. It's a collection of beliefs, rules, and emotions about money you absorbed from your parents, your community, and your culture. It runs silently in the background, influencing every choice. Let's re-examine a common scenario through this new lens. You have a stressful week at work. You feel undervalued and exhausted. On your way home, you walk past a store and see a new piece of technology, an expensive jacket, a piece of jewelry. Your logical brain says, you can't afford this. This isn't in the budget. But another voice, the voice of your money script, whispers something else. If your script says, I only feel valued when I have nice things, or the only way to relieve stress is to treat myself, then the purchase becomes an emotional necessity. You buy it. The momentary relief you feel isn't about the object itself. It's about satisfying a rule in your hidden script. What looks like a moment of weakness is actually a moment of profound, albeit subconscious, obedience. The first aha moment is this. Your most irrational financial decisions are, in fact, perfectly logical actions designed to follow the rules of a script you never consented to. But what happens when the script isn't just about impulse buys? What happens when it dictates a life of chronic self-sabotage? This is the great twist in our development. Consider the person who is perpetually in debt, no matter how much their income increases. They get a promotion, and within months, their spending rises to meet it, often exceeding it. They consolidate their credit cards, only to max them out again. From the outside, it looks like pure recklessness. The impact is devastating. Constant anxiety, shame, and a feeling of being hopelessly trapped. It destroys relationships and mental health. If the consequences are so severe, why does a smart, capable person continue this cycle? If everything we've said is true, then this behavior can't be just a series of mistakes. It must be serving a purpose. To find that purpose, we have to go to the source of the pain. What is this person's story truly about? To answer that, we have to understand that our money scripts are rarely about money at all. They are about safety, love, freedom, and worth. A person trapped in a cycle of debt might be operating from a script learned in childhood that says, money is meant to be spent because you never know when it will be gone. A lesson learned from a family that experienced sudden financial loss. Or perhaps their script equates spending with love, a remnant of parents who used gifts to show affection instead of emotional presence. Their frantic spending isn't an attempt to ruin their life. It's a desperate, subconscious attempt to feel secure or loved in the only way their script knows how. This isn't a modern phenomenon. We can see this writ large across generations. Think of those who grew up in the Great Depression. Many developed a money script of extreme scarcity. They hoarded everything, reused tea bags, and feared spending even when they had become millionaires. Their bank accounts were full, but their script kept them in a state of emotional poverty. Their behavior wasn't about the numbers in their account. It was about the indelible memory of having nothing. To understand your financial present, you must excavate your emotional past. But I know what you're thinking. What about the counterexample? What about the hyper-disciplined saver, the person who tracks every cent, maxes out their retirement accounts, and lives far below their means? Surely their script is a healthy one. They seem to have refuted everything we've said about self-sabotage. This is the ultimate challenge from the skeptic. But let's apply our analytical tool one last time. We deconstruct their virtue. What if their obsessive saving isn't driven by a vision of future abundance, but by a crippling fear of future catastrophe? What if their script, written in a childhood of instability, says, "You are one bad day away from losing everything"? In this case, their good habit isn't a source of freedom, but a prison. They can't enjoy their money. They feel guilty spending on simple pleasures. They are financially rich, but experientially poor. Their apparent financial strength is, in fact, the most powerful manifestation of their core wound. Their greatest virtue is in service to their deepest defect. And so, the full mosaic comes into view. The chronic debtor spending to feel a moment of security and the obsessive saver hoarding to fend off a phantom disaster are not opposites. They are siblings, born from the same family of fear, reading from different pages of the same tragic book. We see the pattern now. The impulsive purchase, the cycle of debt, the joyless saving. All of it is a logical response to an illogical premise written long ago. The final breaking point in this story arrives when the pain of living by the old rules becomes greater than the fear of writing new ones. It is the moment you look at your life and realize the story you've been living is no longer serving you. Now that we understand the invisible machine that has been driving us, we are left with the one question that can change everything. What does it actually take to burn the old script and begin a new one? The answer will define your future.